Anyone can identify a problem, but few take the initiative to solve it. The most valuable people are the ones who don't wait for permission to act. They see an obstacle, and instead of asking, who's going to fix this, they ask, how can I fix this? Be that person. The world is changing faster than ever. The people who remain valuable are those who never stop learning, adapting, and improving. Read, listen, ask questions, and surround yourself with those who challenge you to grow. The moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. Technical skills can be taught, but the ability to understand, connect with, and inspire others, that's rare. The most influential people are those who know how to navigate emotions, their own and those of others. When you make people feel heard, valued, and understood, they will follow you anywhere. Being assigned a responsibility is one thing. Taking full ownership of the outcome is another. The difference between those who are easily replaced and those who are indispensable is simple. One says, that's not my job, while the other says, I'll handle it. Ownership builds trust, and trust builds influence. Being brilliant once isn't enough. The real key to being irreplaceable is consistency. The people who are trusted most aren't the ones with the highest peaks, but the ones who always show up, deliver, and can be counted on. When people know they can rely on you, you become invaluable. Success isn't a solo journey. The best leaders, the ones who truly matter, are those who bring others up with them. They share knowledge, empower their teams, and create opportunities for others to grow. If you make others better, your value multiplies. Trust is the foundation of influence. If you say you'll do something, do it. If you commit, follow through. In a world full of broken promises and short-term thinking, those who keep their word are the ones people want to follow and work with. Being irreplaceable isn't about being the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. It's about showing up in a way that makes a real difference. The choice is yours. Be replaceable, or be the person people can't afford to lose. There is a fundamental difference between those who simply go through the motions and those who make themselves truly irreplaceable. At the heart of this distinction is one essential habit: the ability to solve problems. Organizations, teams, and communities are constantly facing challenges, both big and small. The people who rise to the top, the ones who become indispensable, are the ones who don't just point out issues, but take ownership of solving them. Too many people focus on what's wrong without offering solutions. They see obstacles and assume it's someone else's job to fix them. They complain about inefficiencies, broken systems, and unmet goals, but stop short of taking action. These individuals remain replaceable because they don't add unique value, they merely observe. On the other hand, those who become irreplaceable approach problems differently. They don't wait to be told what to do, they take initiative. They don't just report problems, they solve them. To develop this mindset, we must shift how we perceive challenges. Instead of seeing problems as burdens or frustrations, we must see them as opportunities. Opportunities to contribute, to lead, and to make a difference. When you adopt this perspective, every challenge becomes a chance to prove your value. Those who solve problems aren't just helping themselves. They're making life easier for those around them, whether it's their colleagues, their customers, or their leaders. And that is what makes them irreplaceable. The key to becoming a great problem solver is a mix of curiosity, creativity, and resilience. Curiosity allows you to dig deeper, to ask the right questions, and to fully understand the root of the problem instead of just reacting to surface-level symptoms. Many people don't take the time to explore the real issue. They see something wrong and make assumptions about what needs to change. But the best problem solvers are the ones who pause, analyze, and seek out the truth before jumping to solutions. Creativity is another essential component. Solving problems isn't about following a script. It's about thinking differently, finding new approaches, and seeing possibilities where others see dead ends. In today's fast-paced world, where industries evolve rapidly and new challenges emerge constantly, those who can think outside the box are the ones who thrive. They don't just apply old solutions to new problems, they innovate. They find ways to streamline processes, improve experiences, and create lasting impact. But curiosity and creativity alone aren't enough. Resilience is what separates the good from the great. Solving problems is rarely easy. There will be roadblocks. Not every idea will work. Not every solution will be met with immediate acceptance. The best problem solvers are those who don't give up at the first sign of resistance. They adapt, they refine their approach, and they keep pushing forward until they find a way. One of the biggest reasons people hesitate to take on problem solving is fear. Fear of failure, fear of stepping outside their comfort zone, or fear of overstepping boundaries. But those who are truly irreplaceable understand that failure is part of the process. They don't let the fear of getting it wrong stop them from trying. They know that even if their first attempt doesn't work, they've learned something valuable that will bring them closer to the right solution. The truth is, most people prefer to play it safe. They stick to what they know, do what's expected of them, and avoid taking risks. But those who become invaluable are the ones who push themselves beyond what's comfortable. They're willing to experiment. They're willing to fail. And because of that, they're the ones who find new solutions, improve existing systems, and drive real change. There's a simple but powerful question that can transform the way you approach problems. What can I do to fix this? Instead of assuming it's someone else's responsibility, take ownership. Even if you're not in a leadership role, even if it's not technically part of your job description, stepping up and offering solutions is what will set you apart. Because leadership isn't about a title, it's about action. The people who get noticed, the people who get promoted, the people who are remembered and respected are those who demonstrate leadership through their actions, regardless of their role. This doesn't mean you have to fix every problem on your own. Some challenges require collaboration. Some solutions require buy-in from others. But the difference between those who are replaceable and those who are not is that the irreplaceable ones don't wait for someone else to step up first. They bring ideas to the table. They rally people around solutions. They take initiative, and in doing so, they gain influence. Consider the people you admire most, whether in your workplace, in history, or in your personal life. Chances are, they are problem solvers. They are the ones who, when faced with difficulty, didn't just accept the status quo. They asked questions. They found a way forward. They didn't just react. They created solutions. Think about a time when you encountered a problem at work, in school, or in your personal life. How did you handle it? Did you take the initiative to solve it, or did you wait for someone else to address it? Reflecting on moments like these can help you develop the habit of proactive problem solving. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. The reality is, no matter where you work or what you do, problems will always exist. Organizations will always face inefficiencies. Teams will always encounter roadblocks. Customers will always have unmet needs. The people who succeed, the people who become irreplaceable, are the ones who consistently bring solutions to the table. Imagine a workplace where two employees have the same job title, the same responsibilities, and the same level of experience. One of them sticks to what's assigned to them, completing tasks as expected, but never going beyond what is required. The other actively looks for ways to improve things. They notice inefficiencies in the workflow and suggest a better way to do things. They see customers struggling with a process and come up with an idea to make it easier. They don't just do their job, they make the job better. When promotions and opportunities arise, which of these two employees do you think will be chosen? This principle applies to every area of life. The people who solve problems don't just advance in their careers. They become leaders in their communities, in their families, and in their relationships. They are the ones who bring value wherever they go because they understand that challenges are not barriers. They are invitations to step up. So the question is, are you just identifying problems, or are you solving them? Are you waiting for someone else to take action, or are you the one leading the way? Becoming irreplaceable isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It isn't about having the most impressive resume. It's about being the person who takes action, who finds solutions, and who makes things better. And that is something anyone can do, regardless of their title, their background, or their experience. It starts with a decision. A decision to stop seeing problems as someone else's responsibility and start seeing them as opportunities to lead. It's a choice that will define your career, your relationships, and your impact. So the next time you see a challenge, don't just point it out. Ask yourself, what can I do to fix this? Because the people who ask that question and act on it are the ones who become truly irreplaceable. The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace. Industries are shifting, technology is advancing, and the skills that were relevant yesterday may not be enough tomorrow. The people who remain valuable, the ones who become irreplaceable, are those who never stop learning. They don't just rely on what they already know. They seek out new knowledge, new skills, and new perspectives. They understand that learning isn't something that stops after school or training. It's a lifelong commitment. Many people fall into the trap of complacency. They get comfortable in their routines, doing things the way they've always done them. They assume that because they've been doing a job for years, they don't need to improve. But the moment you stop learning, you start becoming replaceable. The world doesn't stand still, and neither should you. The most valuable individuals in any field are those who embrace change and actively pursue growth. Being a lifelong learner doesn't mean you have to enroll in a new degree program or take expensive courses. It means adopting a mindset of continuous curiosity. It means asking questions, seeking out new experiences, and being willing to challenge what you think you know. It's about developing the habit of exploring ideas beyond your immediate expertise, exposing yourself to different ways of thinking, and staying open to improvement. One of the biggest obstacles to continuous learning is the illusion of expertise. People assume that once they reach a certain level of experience or education, they've made it. But true experts never stop learning. They know that the more they learn, the more they realize how much they don't know. They approach knowledge with humility, understanding that there is always room for growth. In today's world, access to knowledge is easier than ever. Books, podcasts, online courses, and mentors are all readily available. The difference between those who grow and those who stagnate isn't a lack of resources, it's a lack of initiative. The people who become irreplaceable are those who take the time to learn even when it's not required. They read about industry trends, study innovations, and stay ahead of the curve. They don't wait for someone to tell them what they need to know. They seek it out themselves. It's not just about technical knowledge or professional development. Being a lifelong learner means developing a broad understanding of the world. It means learning about psychology, communication, leadership, history, and human behavior. Some of the most valuable skills in any career have nothing to do with technical expertise and everything to do with understanding people. Those who take the time to learn how to communicate effectively, how to navigate difficult conversations, and how to inspire and influence others will always stand out. One of the most powerful ways to learn is through experience. Many people are afraid to take on new challenges because they don't feel fully prepared. They wait until they feel 100% ready before stepping into something new. But the truth is, growth happens through action. The best learning comes from doing, failing, adjusting, and trying again. Those who are willing to take on new responsibilities, even when they're not entirely sure how, are the ones who grow the fastest. Failure is one of the best teachers, but only if you are willing to learn from it. Too many people see failure as something to be avoided at all costs, as a sign that they aren't capable. But those who become irreplaceable see failure as feedback. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and use the experience to get better. They don't let setbacks define them. They let setbacks refine them. Another key to being a lifelong learner is surrounding yourself with people who challenge you. If you are always the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Growth happens when you engage with people who think differently, who have different perspectives, and who push you to see things in new ways. Too often people stay within their comfort zones, surrounding themselves with like-minded individuals who reinforce their existing beliefs. But real learning happens when you expose yourself to new ideas, even if they challenge what you think you know. Mentors play a huge role in lifelong learning. The most successful people actively seek out mentors, people who have more experience, different insights, and valuable lessons to share. But mentorship isn't just about finding one person to guide you. Some of the best learning comes from informal mentors, people whose work you admire, whose books you read, whose ideas challenge you. In today's digital world, you can learn from the greatest minds in history without ever meeting them in person. Curiosity is the driving force behind lifelong learning. It's the willingness to ask why and how, even when something seems obvious. It's about looking beyond the surface, questioning assumptions, and seeking deeper understanding. The people who make the biggest impact are those who stay curious, who never settle for just accepting things as they are, and who constantly look for better ways to do things. Being a lifelong learner also means being adaptable. The ability to pivot, to adjust, and to embrace change is what separates those who thrive from those who struggle. Many people resist change because it's uncomfortable, but the reality is change is inevitable. The people who succeed are those who see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. They are the ones who don't just react to change, they anticipate it, prepare for it, and use it to their advantage. One of the greatest mistakes people make is assuming that learning is only valuable when it has an immediate payoff. They only invest time in learning if it directly benefits their job or their current situation. But the most valuable knowledge is often the kind that doesn't have an obvious application right away. It's the skills and insights you gain over time that suddenly become relevant in unexpected ways. The more you learn, the more opportunities you create for yourself, often in ways you never could have predicted. The reality is, those who refuse to learn will eventually be left behind. No matter how skilled you are today, if you aren't growing, you are falling behind. The world is moving too fast for anyone to rely solely on what they already know. The most successful people are the ones who make learning a habit, who commit to growing a little bit every day, and who never assume they have all the answers. Being irreplaceable isn't about being the best at one thing. It's about being adaptable, open-minded, and constantly improving. It's about becoming the kind of person who adds value in any situation because you bring a wealth of knowledge, insight, and the ability to learn quickly. So the question is, are you actively learning, or are you just coasting on what you already know? Are you seeking out new challenges, exposing yourself to new ideas and pushing yourself to grow? Or are you assuming that what got you here will be enough to keep you moving forward? The choice to be a lifelong learner is a choice to be valuable. It's a choice to remain relevant, to stay ahead, and to continually become better. It's the difference between being replaceable and being the person others depend on. In a world that is constantly changing, the only real job security is the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Those who embrace this mindset will always have a place, no matter where the future takes them. In every workplace, in every team, in every interaction, there is one thing that separates those who are simply competent from those who are truly irreplaceable: the ability to understand and connect with people. It's not just about intelligence, experience, or technical skills. It's about emotional intelligence. It's the ability to read a room, to sense what others are feeling, and to respond in a way that builds trust and strengthens relationships. People who master this skill don't just contribute to a team. They become the glue that holds everything together. Emotional intelligence is often misunderstood. Some assume it's about being nice or overly agreeable, but that's not the case. It's about awareness. Awareness of your own emotions, awareness of how your actions affect others, and awareness of how to navigate human interactions effectively. The best leaders, the most influential team members, and the people others turn to in difficult moments all share one thing in common: they understand people. One of the most valuable aspects of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Many people go through life reacting to situations without fully understanding why they feel the way they do. They get frustrated, but they don't analyze where that frustration is coming from. They feel defensive, but they don't stop to ask whether there's truth in the feedback they're receiving. Those who are irreplaceable take the time to reflect. They understand their triggers, their strengths, and their weaknesses. They don't let their emotions control them. They use their emotions as data to make better decisions. When you have self-awareness, you don't just react, you respond with intention. You recognize when you're feeling stressed or impatient, and instead of taking it out on those around you, you step back and regain control. You understand when you need to ask for help, when you need to push yourself harder, and when you need to take a break. You become someone who operates with clarity rather than chaos, and that kind of presence is rare. Beyond understanding yourself, emotional intelligence is about understanding others. Every person you interact with has their own experiences, emotions, and perspectives. Those who are irreplaceable know how to listen, not just to respond, but to truly hear what the other person is saying. They pick up on body language, tone of voice, and unspoken concerns. They don't just wait for their turn to talk. They make others feel seen.